Nobody warns them. There's no memo, no safety briefing that says don't look directly at Earth. And yet grown astronauts, test pilots, engineers, the calmest people NASA could find come back and cry. Some of them can't talk for a minute. Nobody told them that would happen. Maybe somebody should have. Now here's the thing that bugs me. You've seen Earth before. You've seen the blue marble poster. You've seen it on Google Earth. You've seen it 1,000 times in photographs. So why does it hit them like that? What's actually new? Here's what's new. A picture of Earth and seeing Earth are not the same event. A photograph is information. It goes in through your eyes and lands in the part of your brain that says, yes, I know what that is. That's a planet. I've seen this before. But looking at the real thing through a window with your own eyes, no glass screen, no frame around it, that doesn't go to the same place. That goes somewhere older, somewhere that isn't built for pictures. It's built for judging distance. And that's where the trouble starts. Think about how your eyes actually work. Your whole depth perception system, the thing that tells you that's 10 feet away, that's 100 feet away, it evolved for a world with trees in it, buildings, horizons, haze in the distance that tells you this is far. All those cues you don't even know you're using. Now put a human being in orbit, 300 kilometers up, looking down at the whole planet in one window. There's no tree, there's no haze, there's no scale. Your brain reaches for its usual tricks and finds nothing to grab onto. So it doesn't process the actual distance. It can't. There's no reference for a number that big. And instead it does something stranger. It processes the smallness, not Earth's smallness, yours. Everyone you've ever loved, every argument you've ever had, every country, every war, every single thing you've ever called important, all of it, in one window, no bigger than a coin held at arm's length. And your nervous system, which has never once in its evolutionary history had to hold an idea that size, just sits there, stunned. And here's where I have to be careful, because this is the part people get wrong. This isn't fear. It's not vertigo. It's not motion sickness. It's not, oh no, I'm high up. Vertigo is your inner ear panicking about falling. This is something else entirely. This is a category error. Your brain has a very old, very reliable file marked me, and another one marked everything else. And that boundary has never been challenged before, not like this. Suddenly, everything else fits inside a window the size of your hand, and the line between you and it gets blurry. There's a name for this. Frank White coined it back in 1987, the overview effect. But I want to stop right there, because naming something is not the same as understanding it. You can call a headache a migraine all day long. Doesn't tell you what's happening in the blood vessels. Same thing here. We have a word for the feeling. We don't have a clean answer for the mechanism. What we do have is decades of interviews, astronaut after astronaut, independently describing the same thing. The borders disappear. Not literally, you can still see the outlines of continents, but the meaning of the borders disappears. No more us and them, just one thing. That's not a metaphor they're reaching for. That's a reported, repeated, documented cognitive shift. And it shows up again and again across totally different people from totally different countries with totally different politics. Now here's the part that really gets me, the part I don't think anyone has a good answer for. Normally, your brain gets bored. You smell something strong, you stop noticing it after 10 minutes. That's just how neurons work. Repeated stimulus, weaker response. Every time. No exceptions. It's one of the most reliable rules in all of neuroscience. You'd expect the same thing up there. Astronauts on the space station see a sunrise every 90 minutes, 16 a day. By sunrise 4,000, you'd think, okay, they're numb to it by now, right? That's what the rule predicts. But that's not what happens. Frank White interviewed dozens of them over the years, and the intensity doesn't fade. Sunrise 1 and sunrise 5,000 hit with almost the same force. That breaks the rule. That's not supposed to happen, not with any other stimulus we know of, and nobody, not psychologists, not neuroscientists, has a clean explanation for why this particular site refuses to get old. I love that. I love that there's a hole right there in plain sight that nobody's filled in yet. Now let me clear something up, because there is a real rule up there, and it's not about your feelings, it's about your retinas. Direct, unfiltered sunlight through a spacecraft window is genuinely dangerous. That's not folklore, that's optics. The sun in space, with no atmosphere to scatter and soften it, is bright enough to cause real damage to your eyes in seconds. That's why the windows on the ISS cupola have shades, why there's training on filters, on angles, on when to look and when to look away. So if there ever was a rule whispered around this whole idea, don't look directly, that's probably where it actually comes from. Not some existential warning about your soul rearranging itself. Just plain old physics. Too much light, not enough atmosphere, damaged retina. The myth borrowed its danger from something real and then dressed it up as something mystical. But don't let the real explanation shrink the mystery. Because here's what I keep coming back to. Every single thing your mind evolved to handle, it evolved to handle with a horizon in the picture. From the day the first eye opened on this planet, there has always been an edge somewhere, a line where the ground meets the sky, a limit, a boundary between here and the unknown beyond. Every nervous system on Earth, yours included, was built assuming that edge exists. Take it away, put a person in a window with no horizon, just the whole curved thing hanging there in black, no up, no down, no away. And something in the architecture of the mind doesn't know what to do with that. There's no photograph for it to file. There's no analogy waiting in the drawer. And I think what actually breaks in that moment isn't awe, and it isn't fear. It's the quiet discovery that the edge you always thought was the world was never the world's edge at all. It was the edge of your imagination. That's all it ever was. And once you've seen past it, once you've actually seen the whole thing, whole, from 300 kilometers up, with your own two eyes and no frame around it, you don't get to go back to not knowing that. You just carry it home, quietly, for the rest of your life.